Hi, I am Roxy. I am here to ask you to do something for Steve6464. Can you watch as much of the video that you can? Then before you leave a comment. Make it a critique, a constructive criticism. Thanks. Oh, he's about to start. Bye.
Hi, I'm Steve6464. Welcome back to Season 7, Part 3 of Let's Build This, working on a video. How is the sound? Please let me know if I need to speak up, if I need to not talk so loud, just the microphone, whatever. Alright, before we get started, let's review what happened, I guess, 3 weeks ago now. Testing, okay. It looks like a good spot for the microphone sound. Let me know if I need to speak up or not. So, it's 3 weeks ago when we last met. I was working on getting the animation, working on the different focal lengths and zooms and all that. And then I ran into a problem where it seemed like it was cutting off the disc. So I fixed all that. I actually went back and redid then all the other steps to the point where, okay, so what I decided to do was make the Z change, the distance that the camera goes back, to only 30 frames. I think it was like 1.5 or something like that. So that's 1 second. Then the pause where it sat on the new focal length for 60 seconds. I think that was 1.5 minutes. I cut that down to 60 frames. I'm sorry. And then the time amount of frames to allow for the lens change I reduced to 15 frames. And then I pre-did a lot of that work. Started at 0.5 millimeter. We are now up to 512 millimeter. And we are 512 millimeter, 6,939 feet away from the center of the sphere. And I have created now 1,140 frames. So this is what I have so far. Let's go to our working scenes. Again, the top left is is just my beautiful mug. The middle left is my second screen off to my right. The lower left is a view of my main screen, which will show you if I enter any menu. It will show you the menus. The OBS screen, the main screen, for some reason doesn't pick up when I'm in certain menus. So, alright, so this is what I worked on shortly after logging off 3 weeks ago. And the very first stop, that donut, it doesn't, that renders out, it shows the hole, it fills in the hole. Alright, so let's go to the end. And this was 500, the focal length of 512 millimeters. The camera is 6,939.2 feet away from the center of the sphere. And I left on pause. So the next step is lens change, which will be L in my book, and that's another 15 frames. So that's going to be 1,153. 1155. What am I talking about? And let's go to 1155. Double our focal length, which will be 1024. Right. File, save. $10.24. Alright, then the next is the Z change, which will be another 30 frames. So that'll be 1185. Go to frame 1185. And zoom out. I'm going to cheat a little because I know it's going to be roughly double. Alright, so 6,900 times 2, 1380. So let's start 13,13800. And I got a feeling my hither and yon are messing up again. So let's go 10. That is new. Okay, so yen is 10,000. Make that 20,000. All right, now let's see what that's like at 13,800. Pretty close. All right. All right, so the new distance now is 13,897 point. I'm going to round up 0.1. Save. Okay, pause. That's another 60. I'm going to have two calculators going. One for the focal length and one for the distance, or the frames. So 1185 plus 60. We're going to go to 1245. You know, I wonder, you know what, I'm going to turn this one around and point it down at my notepad. And I know there's a way to zoom in, but I am not going to do that today. So we're pausing for 60 frames. Keyframe. See how this looks. And I think we'll do this for until we have roughly a minute of video. All right, so let's figure that out first. So 1 minute and 60 seconds, there's 30 frames in a second. That's 1800 frames. And we're only at 1200 frames. Write this down here. We won't go less. We might go a little more than a minute. I mean, this isn't a short. All right, so 2:45. That was the pause. Now we're going to do a lens change. 12:45 plus 15. 12:60. Okay, 12:60. And that is going to be 2048 millimeters. Right, yes. Keyframe that. And then Z change. Gonna be 1290. And the focal length, well, let's get there first. Save early, save often. The focal length is going to be roughly 27,000, not focal length, feet away from the center of the sphere. It's going to be roughly 27,600 feet. You know, I'm just going to make this 100,000. There we go. And we need to back away just a bit more. Okay, I'm guessing that's good. And that is now 27,806.5 feet. Poser feet. Well, yeah, feet. Keyframe that. Save. Ooh, turn the page. Okay, we go from Z to pause. We're pausing 60 frames. $13.50. Okay, I think I keyframed this, but let's remember. 1350. 1350. Well, if there's anybody out there, just say hi. 1350 is a pause. Let's just keyframe this. Next after pause is the lens change. Right. And the lens change is at plus 15, 1365. 1365. 1365. And that's a lens change, and we're doubling that. $20.48 times 2 is $40.96. How many P9000s have a zoom of 4096 millimeters? 4096. Right. And oh, that was times 2 is going to be roughly 55,600 feet. But that's just an estimate. You can make it a little smaller. Go back a little further back. At this point, we're at 55,740 feet point. Do we really need the tenths point? No, it's fine. Alright, keyframe this. Okay, Z change to another 30. 1395. Oops, I wasn't supposed to change this, was I? Okay, keyframe this. Now we go to 1395, 1395, and now we go to 55,740. Keyframe this. Alright, we're pausing next. Pauses another 60 frames. 1395 plus 60 is 1455. Keyframe this, I think I already did. 1455. 1455. Keyframe this and save. Okay, after pause is a lens change. That's 15, 1470. double that. 4096 times 2, 8192 millimeters. Yeah, that's the lens change. Now we have a Z change. Which is going to take us 11,200 feet. It doesn't, something's wrong. One, 2, 3, 2, 0, 0. Okay. Now I'm just going to make it easier on myself and just use, it's close enough. I don't think actually it visibly changes. And the Z change is now 14. Okay. $14.70. It's the lens change. Z change. Z change is another 30 frames, which make this 1,500 frames. And then that will make your left distance 11,200. Okay, I'm going to make this 500,000. Keyframe it. Save. Okay, after Z change, there's a pause for 60 frames, 1560. Okay, keyframe this, save. After the pause is a lens change of 15 frames, so 1575. And that's going to be 16,384 millimeters. And okay, boom, keyframe this, then Z change, it's going to be 30 seconds, 5061, so that's going to be 1605. That's a Z change, which would be, got to mark down the middle of here, 16,384, and the Z change would be 2,400. Keyframe that, save. And then there's a pause. 60 frames, so that's 1665. 65, 65. Pause. Keyframe. Save. After pause comes a lens change of 15. 1680 frames. And the lens will be times 2. 32,768. 1,768. Keyframe that. Save. Z change of 30. 0117. Z change. 1710. Z change times 2, 444, 800. 1, 2, 3, 800. Keyframe. Save. Okay. And that is 444, 800. Right. Z, and then there's a pause for 60 frames, 7770, 1770. Let's pause, so no change. Keyframe it, file, save. after the pause, there's a lens change, 15, 1785. The new focal length times 2, 65,536 millimeters. 65,000, yeah, 536. Not yet. First we have to go there. 1785. 1785. And now that we're there, we go to 65,536. Nope. Not 9. 65536. There we go. That's better. Keyframe that. Save. That was a lens change. Z change. Another 35. One 8. Okay. Looks like we'll do this Z change and a pause, and then we're done. 1815. 1815. Excuse me. Z change times 2 is 889,600 millimeters. No, feet. 889,600. And here we go again. 10. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It won't. It won't go that far. So will it render it? Let's find out. It doesn't look like it will. No, it won't render it. So I guess we stop short of a minute. I've already gone 20 minutes over than what I wanted. Ooh, something funky happened there. Where did I go funky? Right. 1500. Okay, that was supposed to be a Z change. Alright. And 1560 it was supposed to be a pause. But it's not a pause, it's a lens change. So 1550. Or 1500. $81.92. Okay. And then 1560. This wasn't supposed to happen yet. Right, that was supposed to be a pause. Alright, and then, so let's go back. $15.60 was a pause. And then 1575 was a lens change. Okay. 1575. Supposed to be a lens change. To 16384. All right. Then 1605. Was a Z change. Okay, I think we're back. Was a pause, yes. 1680. It's a lens change. 1710 was a zoom out. 1770 was a pause. 1785 was a lens change. And it then just doesn't work anymore. Okay. So we go back to 1770. Which is a pause, and it $32.78. No, there was somebody watching for a while, I guess. Okay. So we went back to 1770. Not quite a minute. 1770. Divide 30. Yeah, 59 seconds. Close enough to a minute, I guess. So, question is, first of all, 1770, let's get rid of the bad frames. Yes. File, save. To stretch this out to a minute, I'm just going to add 30 frames. Right, and just let the 30 frames just sit out, right? Or I could have this rotate just as for fun, but one rotation in 30 frames is pretty fast. What was that? 1770, right? Keyframe this. Go to props. Grab my ball. Rotate. Y rotate. Keyframe that. 360 degrees in a circle. $17.70 plus 360 is $21.30. Y rotation. We want it to go this way, west to east, or this way, east to west. Our actual globe goes east to west, and that is positive. 360. Keyframe, file, save. Alright, let's see how that looks. So that's going to be 1 minute and 11 seconds. That's also a strange. It's 12:10 when I stopped it. Let's go back to 11:85. Alright, 11:85. Let's go back to 11:55. Go back to our camera. $11:55. 10:24. Yeah, 10:24, that's what it should be. So 11:55, 11:85. This is zoom 11:85. 10:24. 12:45. 12:60. 11:55. 10:24. So why? $9:45, 5:12, right? 2:56. $9:45, 10:50. 10:50, 5:12. 11:55, 10:24. I mean, this yawn here is screwing up. No, doesn't appear to be. That's strange. 11:55. 12:60. Unless the Z, I bet the Z is moving. 10, 20. Z is supposed to be 1155 is a lens change. $11.40. Oops, no. $11.40. 11:40 is a pause. 11:55 is a lens change. But there should not be a Z change. Okay. 11:55. A lens change. And 1185 should be a Z change. Yes. So if you don't hit those keyframes, we'll look at it later. Then 55, 1185. Right where it should be, right? Alright, let's see how this looks. Same thing happened, 1600. Same thing happened. 1605. 1605 is a Z change. $16.65 should be a pause. $16.65. Let's go back to $15.75. $15.75 is it's a lens change. 1638. Something's going on here. 1575. 1560 is a pause. Right? 8192. Okay. Then 1575 is a lens change. and that should be 1638. Yes. Okay, but was there a Z change? There shouldn't have been a Z change. Okay, so 1575, 1560. Okay, 15. That's better, right? Okay, so where are we? 1575, 1605. That's why we write the stuff down, because our brains can't remember all this. Alright, let's give this one more look. When I'm satisfied with this, I'll go back to that first the first size, the first 30 frames, and show that we'll render. Guess it was fine. Didn't look right. Didn't look quite right, but maybe it is. When did it stop? That was weird. Something's going on. If that happens again. I think I know kind of sort of what happened, kind of sort of how to fix it. Wait, I haven't been on an hour because I started at 1. Okay. I took the batteries out of my clock because I could hear it ticking in the video after I went back and reviewed it. Alright, this time it went all the way back. File. Don't need to save it. Let's do it one more time. I will render this and show you that it does fill in. And 85 is a zoom. $12.45 is a pause. $12.60 is a lens change. $12.90 is a zoom. It just didn't look right. $13.50 is a pause. $13.65 is a lens change. $13.95 is a zoom out. I guess it's fine. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Something about around the 500 mark too that bothers me. So we'll take a look at that when this is done. Alright, 500 mark, 450. Should be a zoom, yes. 510 is a pause, yes. 525 is a lens change. Now that looks okay. 555 is a zoom. 615 is a pause. 630 is a lens change. Yeah, I'm just seeing things. Okay, so let's render this frame. Yep. You can see it here. It's fully rendered, but let me move it like so. See, it's rendered. No donut. Alright. So next week we will render this. And maybe do some background work while it's rendering Photoshop work. Alright, so let's go back to seed 1. Thank you for stopping by. Happy Mother's Day. Hope you have a good day. Be safe. And the last thing I have to say, have a good day, be safe, be a friend to someone who needs a friend, and the last thing I have to say is,
look, an echo chamber of derp. Derp, 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 derp.
Derp, 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 derp.
Derp, 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 derp. Derp, 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 derp. Derp, 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 derp,
Gravity is not a force.
Einstein remains neutral.
Jerp, 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 jerp.
Derp, derp, derp.